For the past about 25 years, I have been a Los Angeles Lakers fan. I was there when Magic and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and James Worthy, Michael Cooper were all in this dynasty team, and they were playing the Celtics and the Detroit Pistons. I remember when I was so much of a Laker fan. I remember when I found out that Magic Johnson was friends with Isaiah Thomas. I was like, how could he be a friend of someone that was on the enemy team? Anyway, as the years progressed, I've always been a fan. Through hard times, through good times. And even when the Lakers were 34 and 48 years, a few years ago, I was still a fan. And then this happened. December 8th, 2011. David Stern blocks a trade to the Los Angeles Lakers. Why? At first, when I heard about the trade, I was like, it's not the greatest trade. We lose the Candyman Lamar Odom, and we lose Paul Gasol, who's probably the most gifted touch shooter in the big man shooter in the NBA's, and we're getting Chris Paul. I was like, well, you know what? Okay, we're gonna get the big three here. We're gonna have Kobe. We're gonna have Paul, and if Andrew Bynum can stay healthy, he'll get a ton of more opportunities. He might just blossom into a star, or we might trade for Dwight Howard. I was like, okay, we'll have a big three that position-wise is probably better than the Miami Heat. So we do lose a lot, but we also, the Lakers get the big three. I was like, I don't know if that's enough to win a championship, but it definitely makes for entertaining basketball. And then David Stern decided, block it. I'm like, okay. And the funny thing is, people are forgetting that Houston was involved in this trade too. So he not only screws over the Lakers, he screws over Houston. He screws over New Orleans. And he does it at the last minute. That's what really ticks me off, is he allows it to basically happen. And he does it at the last minute. And then, so now the players for the Lakers are like, what the freak, they don't want me. The players for the Houston Rockets are like, what the freak, they don't want me. And Chris Paul is like, what the heck, I was about to go to the Lakers, and now I'm just going to be stuck with New Orleans. You have basically screwed over three huge teams this way. And really, and he did it, even, the ironic thing is Dan Gilbert wasn't asking David Stern to, the Cleveland Cavaliers owner wasn't asking David Stern to block it. He was like, just bring it to a vote. He didn't even do that. David Stern was like, basketball reasons. Woo! Yeah, good job, man. You just freaking single-handedly just besmirched the reputation of the NBA. Good freaking job at ruining any credibility the NBA has. And at the moment, I'm kind of a little bit on the upset side, because it's like, you know what, it may not have been the greatest trade, but the fact that now David Stern's saying, okay, he's putting his filthy hands on this little thing and saying, you know what, I'm going to make sure, whatever. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, look at Dan Gilbert. You know what, if you think about it, Dan Gilbert, if he, the year prior, had LeBron James and blah, 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 do you think, guess what? Dan Gilbert would have had trade picks. He would have had, very good basketball players, and the Cavaliers team would be much better now. Now Dan Gilbert has basically said to the New Orleans Hornets, you know what? How about you be like me in a year, and you lose your star player, and you don't get anything for it? Good job. Just screwed over New Orleans, too. Very hardcore. And it's almost like Dan Gilbert has become the freaking owner of the New Orleans Hornets. It's like, so yeah, okay. So David Stern made one of the worst decisions, probably the worst decisions he's ever made in his whole entire life. And as long as he is owner of the NBA, he now has enemies. One from the Lakers, and one from the Houston, and guess what? Whoever buys the New Orleans Hornets, when they do buy, they will be against freaking David Stern, because he screwed over the team. So, that's just my 2 cents on it. Very upsetting. I've been a Laker fan for an extremely long time. But when they do garbage like this, it kind of makes me do a double take. Alright.